Boop. She booped my boob.
I didn't, she did.
System we have.
Hello. This is Jackie.
Hi.
I have no clue why I'm wearing this, I just am. Kind of goes with the theme. I'm green. It's supposed to be a snake. Anyways, I'm doing a video. This is so I posted I asked for questions on like my Facebook and Instagram to do this video. So now I'm answering all of your questions
About green anacondas.
Yes, there's a couple that aren't about green anacondas, which I guess I'll answer too.
Question 1. I really like your cage system you have set up in the blue room in your other videos. Did you build it yourself? If not, how did you get it installed? And if so, how long did it take or was it expensive?
My cage is the room. I built the room myself. The cages are Boa Master cages. I don't like them that much because they're not good at holding humidity because they warp because they're melamine and they're extremely heavy to move and yeah.
What do you use to provide heat for the anacondas? Under tank heaters, heat tape, and what do you use for thermostats?
I use Herpset 4s for thermostats. In the cages I have for the adults, which are like my 8-foot cages that are the Boa Master cages, there's heat panels in there. You can also use like the FlexWatt heat tape, which is like pretty much like a heating pad you make, and you hook it up to a thermostat, which I run those in my tubs, like the CB70 tubs, for like the smaller ones. I run that as like the top heat.
Do you have locks on the cages, and have you ever had an escapee?
I haven't had an escapee. My brother accidentally let one out one time because he didn't lock the cage. I have latches. Other different kind of cages have locks. Mine just have like latches, so it's kind of depending on what cages you have.
Where do you get the rabbits of various sizes that you feed to your snakes? Do you feed live or frozen thawed?
Everything I own is on frozen thawed except for the teeny tiny babies who are still working on getting to frozen thawed. There's like rabbit farms around where you can go and buy stuff. I'm taking the hood off. You can. We buy in bulk. Me and my brother, because my brother breeds Retexe, so we buy our rabbits in bulk. So they're always frozen when we buy them. So.
How do you clean up after the larger anacondas as well as your Berms and Retexe when they poop or pee? I know my little 4-foot-plus ball python makes some pretty nasty messes sometimes, and I can only imagine what a larger species can do.
Same way. I keep the adults on paper. You just kind of roll up the paper and throw it away, and then replace it.
How can I help Italian people learning to tame reptiles with love and respect? Nobody listens to me when they say they are gentle giants.
Honestly, just kind of show people. The only way I've done it that has been successful is showing them like either physically or like videos and pictures of like how nice they can be. It's hard to change people's opinions once they're kind of like stuck in their way and they have an opinion fixed on it. But I mean, you just kind of have to like prove to them.
Side, how do you tame an aggressive newborns besides the basic holding and attention? Some people say you must hook train anacondas and retics. How do you stop natural feeding response?
I don't hook train any of them. I literally just hold them and play with. This is actually a newborn. This is a newborn baby that was born a couple months ago. It's not bitey. And you literally just hold it. Like, I sit on the couch with the babies and just hold them all day long. So, for as long as I'm sitting there at least. So, you just kind of chill out, hang out with them.
What's their temperament? I've heard my whole life that anacondas have bad tempers, and after seeing your posts, I can't help to think otherwise.
I mean, some can. It all depends on if they've been handled a lot. It's literally just like kind of taking. She's just sitting there. You hold them, you handle them, and they get used to you. And like taming them, you just hold them a lot. That's what I do. Like, this is a baby, still working with it. Clearly, it's not trying to bite me. It's just moving around, doing its own thing. It literally, you just hold them as much as you can. Hold them. To break their feeding response, if you think they're going to like strike because of a feeding response, just get a roll of paper towels and like tap them on the side of the head, or take the hook and just kind of like tap them on the side of the face or like the top of their head, and they'll usually back off and they'll realize it's not food. So, and then you can pick them up from there.
Nice. Are green anacondas a slow-growing breed? Best
Yes.
of my knowledge, mine is over a year old, and my female seems small or growing slowly.
Okay, this is a newborn baby, only a couple months old. This is a 2-year-old female, and she's only about 5 feet stretched out. They are very slow growing. It takes about 6 years for a female to be mature, about 3 to 4 for a male.
Have you ever been tagged by a really big anaconda?
I got bit by my 11-foot one, the one that just gave birth. She, about 2 years ago, I had her on a news set. We were doing something for the news, and people I was working with put a different type of snake in the same tub with her, even though I kept saying, don't do that. And she got pissed off, and when I went to reach in to pick her up, she ended up biting me 3 times, actually. It bit me 3 times in the arm. But it wasn't that bad. There wasn't that much blood. People say their bites are like super nasty. It all depends if you jerk your hand back. If you pull back when they're biting you, it creates tears. If you just like stay still, it's just gonna put little tiny needle marks in you, just like getting a shot. And it doesn't hurt that bad. I mean, what can you do? Working with snakes, it's gonna happen eventually.
How many anacondas do you have? Have any of the bigger ones bit you?
I just answered that one. I have right now 14. I'm about to have 11 because 3 of them are being shipped out next week because I sold them. Like babies, I mean. I'm not selling big ones for now.
Not for sale.
Nope. Babies that I produce will be.
What kind of morphs can be found?
As far as I know, there's only 3 types of morphs. 2 I know of in the U.S. Ben Retic owns, which are their anneries or their T-positive caramels. He actually bred an annery to a caramel, and he has double heads. Hopefully he's going to be breeding back to the mom pretty soon. So he'll have visual caramels. Hopefully soon, because I really want one.
That'd
like
be awesome.
bad. Ben,
I
give
want
me
one.
one. Please.
What do you have snake-wise other than anacondas?
Berms, Retexe. I have a croc monitor, water monitor, a few crested geckos. Random stuff.
What are your thoughts on green anaconda and yellow anaconda hybrids?
I'm not like a huge fan of hybrids. I mean, they can be cool. I'm also not a big fan of yellows, so there's why I pretty don't much like hybrids.
What is the average size of a full-grown captive bred male or female anaconda?
The average, okay, in average of any of them, females can average 13 to 15 feet. Normally, that's what they max out at. I'm not max out, but like, that's typically the biggest you see. Males go from 12 feet, or like 8 to 12 feet. Those are that's decent size for a male, especially if they get over 10 feet. It's pretty good. Except for males don't get the girth, so they look smaller, but they can be like a good length. So this is Jackie holding Puppy, who is a full-grown female. She's about 12 feet and crawling off to the direction. See, if you look up, this is how Tame Puppy is. She doesn't give a shit. This is how girthy she is. Like I said, she likes to move right now. So
there we go.
Yes, she's very girthy. She's 12 feet. Hopefully breeding this year. Full-grown female anaconda. She will get bigger as snakes don't stop growing. So there's that.
I never stop.
Right.
You're fat.
She's she's very close to 100 pounds. I think she's like 2 or 3 pounds shy of 100. So.
You gonna go say hi to the camera?
It's not even in focus. Alright.
What is your favorite thing about anacondas?
Their stereotype and proving people wrong.
They're all wrong. Wrong!
Look at her. She's so cute.
Look at how cute your little face is.
Are they always so messy?
Yes, they love pooping in the water bowl. It's disgusting. It's like poop soup.
Poop soup. And then they like to sit in it.
Not always. Some do. He'll poop in the water and then just get out and just wait for me to change it. And then as soon as I change it, he's back in the water.
Have you ever been bitten by an anaconda and have had problems having it release?
No. Most snakes just bite and let go. The only time they're gonna like bite and hold on is when you literally smell like their food, and they think you're food, which hardly ever happens. And if it does, it's almost always just the babies, and they're wrapped around your finger because they don't really know any better.
Have you ever been nervous of any large anaconda?
No, not really. I mean, if I'm nervous, then there's something wrong.
Must be a really, really mean anaconda.
I mean, I've dealt with some pretty mean ones, and as long as they're not trying to bite me in the face, I'm fine. Because when you're trying to bite you in the face, you're like this, trying to like keep your distance, but handle them at the same time. It's like this awkward position you get put in.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, no. You just kind of deal with it.
How hard are they to raise, and are there any breeders in Texas?
They're not that hard, as long as you have the proper caging, humidity, and diet, and all that good stuff, and pretty much how you take care of a snake. But in Texas, I don't know of anyone breeding them in Texas. I know Andy Maddox has, I don't know if he has a pair, but I know he has some. I don't know if they're breedable yet. And then Blake Wilson has one or two that he might be breeding. I'm not positive on that, but you can check them out and ask them. Texas I'm not too familiar with since I've been there once in my life.
What is the max size and weight, approximately?
There isn't really a max size since snakes constantly keep growing. Weight, full grown, they don't really get as big as the media says. Like, I have a 12-foot female, and she's barely hitting 100 pounds right now. A 15-foot female probably would be more closer to 150 because their girth, they get a lot girthier as they get bigger. As soon as they get like over like 10 feet, they put on more girth than they do length then, so they just get heavier and not as big.
What are some of the necessary requirements for breeding them?
I've bred them once, twice maybe. I did with the second one by accident, and they bred in a storage tub at San Diego Reptile Show. That was an accident. Not really an accident. I didn't mean for it to happen, but it happened, so it's pretty cool. Breeding, you need the right temperatures, humidity. You got to make sure the male and female are both of age and size. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, you got to keep track of how they shed and like the whole cycle of it.
Who is your favorite snake of all time?
Puppy, my big anaconda. She's adorable and lovable. Nicest thing ever.
Has Puppy ever bit you?
No, never.
And how many teeth do they have?
I have no clue. I'm not gonna count them.
We're not dentists.
Might take a while.
What is their diet like?
They pretty much eat just about anything. Chickens, rats, rabbits. Babies will eat mice a lot. I mean, mice aren't really the ideal thing for when they're adults because it's like a tiny meal. It's pretty much like a snack. Like, not even a snack.
It would take a lot
It's like
of mice for this one.
Took about 10 for just that one. She's only 5 feet. Maybe more. So, she actually never ate anything for me except rabbits. Never.
You're picky.
She won't touch anything but rabbits. Frozen thawed rabbits, too. Amazing. Took me like 4 months just to try and feed her. She was tiny. She was like this big. Couldn't find a pinky rabbit big enough or small enough for her.
What made you get into anacondas?
I bought one on Craigslist. Just because I wanted one, and then I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. And that was Puppy, actually. I fell in love with it, and then I just kind of started getting more, and then it turned into this.
And it turned into 14/11.
14 for now.
And where can I get one?
Me. When I have more. I don't know anyone else who has them at the moment, or who is breeding them right now, or has anything gravid. So I honestly have no clue.
Do you experience the changes in your anaconda's attitude as they say it can be nice one minute and mean the next?
Not really. I mean, all mine are pretty, like, they're used to me or used to people because I'm constantly messing with them. Like, this is a baby I'm taming down. Clearly, it's good. Like, I can just, like, she was just born like 3 months ago. She's cool. With mine, I haven't experienced that. Other ones that are more unpredictable, where they haven't been handled as much, can be more unpredictable, like I just kind of said. So,
where can I get a baby anaconda in Tucson, Arizona?
Greens can be shipped. Yellows cannot. You can find a yellow within your state from someone, or you can try and find someone anywhere in the country who has a green for sale.
Any advice for beginners?
Beginners with snakes or with anacondas?
Anacondas.
Start with a baby, so you can kind of learn as it grows up too, because they grow really slow. Make sure you have the right caging where it holds humidity, because they do need a lot of humidity. And always have a bowl big enough for it to fit in so it can soak.
What is the average litter size of an anaconda?
That all depends on how big the snake is, if it's a first-time female. Also, if the male had produced enough, stuff. I don't know if he's watching this. I don't want to be like a little kid. But, yeah, that all depends on things like,
his fertility.
Fertility. There you go. God. See, this is why you're here, because I can't word things, like, at all.
You can't English?
I can't English. It's just different.
She just speaks anaconda.
Mm-hmm. I speak snake.
Do you have any plans to breed your anacondas?
I already have. This one. First time I bred them. I got this little one. And 4 other ones. Puppy, who I have not bred yet. I hope to breed her this season, because she didn't want to last season. Yeah, and then every other season I switch off. That was my plan. I was going to do like 1 female this year, then 1 the next, and I switch on and off, because that's healthier for them.
Yep. How many times a week do you take your anacondas out for a swim in that pool that you have for them?
She's actually sitting on that pool thing. That's what she's sitting on. I try and do it as much as I can, mostly for the big ones 2 to 3 times a week. The babies have bowls in their cages they can swim/soak in anytime. It's just hard for the bigger ones because it's harder for me to change like a big, giant bowl. It also takes a lot of room in their cage. So
I dump it.
Yeah, and they tip it and dump it and poop in it, and so it's easier just to take them out and put them in this big tub.
What is there a difference in temperament between a yellow and a green anaconda?
Yes, yellows are assholes.
And you're worried about kids watching this.
Yellows can be more temperamental. I like to call it small man syndrome because they are much smaller. They average 7 for males, 10 for females for yellows. I don't know why the yellows seem to be more temperamental. There are some pretty nice ones out there, actually. I've seen a few. Haven't met very many nice ones. But greens just seem to be easier to tame down and more chilled out.
Are reticulated pythons usually longer than anacondas as adults?
That's more. Okay. Retics are the longest species of snakes. Anacondas are the heaviest. They are very big. They can be about the same length sometimes. It's not uncommon, but they are just girthier. Like, they're fatter. They're pretty much like the bodybuilders of snakes. And yeah, retics, just longer. Berms are more of like bulk/length.
Yeah, they're
but
the
they don't get as but anacondas are boas. Remember that. Anacondas are boas,
not pythons.
Not pythons. They're technically the biggest boa.
Yeah. Do you own any rare morphs or know of any rare morphs?
I don't own any rare morphs. I wish I did, but I don't. Blue is just this weird, oddball, normal-looking thing. I hope he's proves out to be something, but I highly doubt it.
How often do they eat?
I feed them once a week. I try to. The adults, depends on how big of a meal. If it's a small meal, once a week. If it's a big meal, every 2 weeks.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a pet do they make?
That all depends on what your experience is with big snakes. It takes time to tame them down. They don't make a great pet because they get big, and if you don't have the time to handle them, they can be aggressive, just like any animal if you don't pay enough attention to them. I wouldn't recommend getting one as a pet unless you know what you're doing and you have experience with large constrictors, because they are very powerful animals.
Not for beginners.
Yeah, beginners. Look, it's starting to shed again. It's starting like pinkish blue. Alright, I get excited about things.
What is the average lifespan in captivity?
The record I know of is like 32 or 33 years. Average 20, 25 years.
And what about the size of that poo?
The poop is fun. No. I bought one on Craigslist just because I wanted one for the stereotype. Also, my dad when I was like a teenager, my dad's like, because we started getting into snakes, my dad was like, you never get an anaconda, because he didn't like the stereotype. Well, I was pretty much like, screw you, I'm getting one. So I got one. I hid it for 8 months. He found out about it, and like a year later, I had another one, and then more, and then more. And then I bred them. So I have more. It's just the collection keeps growing. I'm like an anaconda hoarder. Puppy, I've had, she's the first one I got. I've had her about 6 years now. I got her when she was about that size. She was tiny, underfed. She was skinny as hell.
I've never seen anacondas or really any snakes in general as tame as yours. How do you manage to keep yours so calm and docile?
I do this with them. I hold them. I love them.
Where's its head? Just been sitting like that for like 20 minutes.
I pretty much just hold them. That's how I keep them calm. They get used to it.
They sort of derp out sometimes, apparently.
That's amazing. I love that snake.
As the first big snake, would you recommend starting with a Retic or Berm, or can I jump straight in with an Anaconda?
I suggest a Berm, because they're more derpy and more mellow.
Except for this one.
They just seem to be a lot more like chilled out snake than Retics can be flighty, and their feeding response is extremely like in your face. Berms kind of more like Berms are like a giant ball python. Like that's how people describe them. Like their attitudes are just like a big ball python.
Except they actually cruise around their tank and stuff.
That too.
Like say cheese, mwah, and kiss.
Look at it. It's like a little like.
You're adorable. Where does the bad reputation come from?
Anaconda the movie. People are terrified.
Hands down.
Yeah, everyone refers to it as that, and I think it's going to get like 50, 60 feet long because of this stupid movie. The movie is not a documentary. Ignore everything in it. It's very easy to calm anything down as a baby. Once they start getting age and size, it gets harder. Yeah.
When something's big, you're almost like, I'm going to get bit a lot. Here we go.
You bleed a little bit more.
Yeah. You bleed
their
for your passion.
Their strikes are also different when they're bigger.
Yeah.
There's longer strikes, and they hit a little bit harder.
Yeah. Instead of getting hit with a ping pong ball, you're hit with a baseball.
Getting bitten by this little thing is annoying. This one is more like getting pinched really hard.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. This is just like an annoying, like tiny, not even like a paper cut, like kind of that kind of annoying.
And then like your biggest, that'd be like, okay, there's a vice clamp, and now it's gone.
Right.
Much time do they spend in water in nature, and how do you make up for it?
In nature, they choose what they want to do. Like, they want to go swimming, they go swimming. If they want to go on land, they go on land. Like, every snake is different in what they want to do. Captivity, like I said before, I put them in this big tub 2 times a week for as long as they want, or as long as the water stays warm, because I put warm water in it for them. So.
How many generations are your snakes away from the wild-caught ancestor?
I have no clue.
This one's at least an F1.
This is probably more than that, but
at least.
Puppy, I have no clue, but I actually think she is a wild-caught. I got her princess. I have no clue. Yeah. Arrow is probably a wild-caught, too. Everything else is at least an F1, which is a Generation 1 or a Generation 2. At least my stuff is 1 or 2.
When they reach their adult size, is the diet similar to that of an adult retic, or do they have slightly different nutritional requirements because of the more aquatic species?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, an anaconda will eat anything that really comes in front of it. Same with a retic, but I mean, anacondas tend to, as babies, they like birds and like chicks more. Mm-hmm. As adults, if they don't really like come off of that, they can stick to chicks more. Retics are more like anything. Like rodents. People feed them lambs, pigs, stuff like that. Pigs. Anacondas do like capybaras because that's where
it's a native food.
It's a native food for them. So yeah, that's a little different.
World's largest rodent.
Yes, they're also very adorable.
They are.
I want one as a pet.
They're illegal here. Is it true that most younger to subadult anacondas are a bit more snappy, more so than most other boids or pythons?
Baby anaconda. I've had it this entire video. Hasn't snapped at me. This is a subadult. Also, has not snapped. And I can just do that. Poke. Boop the snoop.
But she
Come back
also
to that.
sits with these all day.
Yes. This one was actually very, very mean when I got it. It was about this size when I got it. But like I said, you just sit with them, hold them, love them, do this with them, and they turn into this.
Make funny videos.
Or just do whatever you want.
Yeah. Is sexual dimorphism present?
Yes. Males do not get as girthy. They do not get as long. Females are pretty much like twice the girth, sometimes more.
What are some qualities of an anaconda that make it unique?
Their eyes sit more on top of their head because they're more aquatic, which is really cool. I also like how they have this bright yellow belly pattern. Okay, this one's going to shed. Ignore this one. This one, bright yellow belly pattern and the green on top. I like that about them. Some snakes don't have that. A lot of snakes have more of a white belly to them. Like a lot of retics do. I mean, they're my favorite snake. I mean, I don't know how they changed it, besides the fact that I got popular for it, and I didn't know how that happened. It just happened. That's pretty much how it changed my life. Everyone kind of knows me for Anacondas.
You are the boa personality.
I didn't mean for that to happen whatsoever. I started out posting pictures of my snakes. When I started getting noticed, I only had 3. I had 2 males and a female. And then it just kind of like blew up from there, and I was like, what is happening?
People. How big are they at birth?
It's shed twice so far. It's going to its 3rd shed. Hasn't really grown much besides that.
Tiny.
Tiny little things.
Little new. What should I expect if I get an anaconda?
Poop soup. If you hold them a lot, you're going to get a snake that's pretty calm and just wants to explore everything. Other than that, their poops do smell a little bit worse than other snakes. Like I said, poop soup lingers. Make sure you change that as soon as they poop in it, otherwise it's going to stay forever. Also, if they're not super friendly, they're going to musk on you, and that is the worst smell in the world.
I would rather get bit.
I would rather get bit than get musked on.
Yeah, every time.
Every single time. They're a very powerful snake. They get big, and they're heavy, and they're bulky. So, trying to handle them and move them when you need to, like, do maintenance on their cage or anything, it's very difficult. I wouldn't suggest getting any big snake unless you have experience with big snakes. Like, at least some, like, go, if you know anyone that, if you're looking to get a big snake, go try and find someone who has big snakes and ask them so you can get experience with them. So you learn how the certain snake moves, reacts to things.
How to pick them up properly.
Feed them, take care of them, all that stuff.
So there's a question about fan favorite Max, crocodile monitor. What exactly is he, and how expensive was he, and where do you keep him?
He's a crocodile monitor. I don't know how much he was. I know how much my friend paid for him, because my friend gave him to me when he moved, because he couldn't take him with him anymore. That was Vincent. I still to this day say he can take Max back at any time, because he raised him and bought him and everything. And Vince is one of my best friends. Yeah. If Vince wants him back, he can have him. So far now. He doesn't want him, and I have offered. I don't know how much he was. I do, but I'm not going to say it, because it's none of my business.
It's none of your business.
He is a captive hatched crocodile monitor, though. I know that much.
Okay, that's cool.
So, he's a cool little dude.
Little.
Yes, little.
Little. 10 feet is little.
He's 8 feet. He's little.
With the tail!
His tail. This thing is in my onesie.
Are they legal to have in Maryland?
Yes. Very. Hopefully. Shit. Yes, they better be.
You better find out.
I plan to move there eventually, so yes, hopefully, because I'm taking everything with me.
How many people send you pics of their anacondas?
Like 5 a day. Yellows and greens.
Why doesn't the legislation just let us have what we want? This is bull.
I agree, this is bull. Because they're controlling assholes who don't know a single thing about snakes or anything.
What are the pros and cons of keeping any of the larger snakes, i.e. anacondas, retics, berms?
Pros, they're awesome. Cons, their shits are disgusting. And
And
cleaning them
huge.
is not fun.
My Burmese shit's bigger than my Great Dane.
Oh my god. I mean, pros are if you like snakes and you enjoy them. I mean, anything can be a pro from there on. It's just what you like, I guess. Cons is the only con is like their shit. That's about it. That and your electric bill goes through the roof when you have a bunch of them. Just remember that.
That's with any snakes, though.
If you
What advice would you give someone who wants to breed snakes in the future?
depends on what kind of snake. Just make sure you have everything you need for them. No, because if you're breeding, you know you're going to expand. So make sure you plan ahead and make sure you have enough space for things growing up and like, eating, and like make sure you have enough room for the adults because you have room for the babies now doesn't mean you're gonna have room for the adults later.
If you can't sell them, they're just gonna grow,
Right.
and grow, and grow. Is there a place in the USA where you don't have to have a permit to keep an anaconda?
You don't need a permit pretty much anywhere except for Florida.
In parts of Texas.
I don't know about that.
County based.
Right. The state of Florida, anywhere in Florida, you need a permit to own one. Other than that, you can have them anywhere in the U.S. as long as you check with your county, because it's more county or city based. So make sure you know your local laws before getting one, because some counties have them outlawed, some don't. It's not actually state by state. So.
Have there ever been any discoveries of dwarf or super dwarf grain anacondas?
No.
How in the world do you train these anacondas to stay calm and never attack anyone?
You hold them. It's not really training, and it's not really attacking. You just do this.
They accommodate to human contact.
Right. Just like a dog or a baby.
Yeah. Or bird. That's a good one.
Birds. I had a bird once. Hated me. Loved my brother. Still bit everyone.
Is it practical to keep an anaconda in a normal-sized house, like in a spare bedroom or something?
No. Okay, any snake. You put them in a room, they're going to go to the smallest, tightest, darkest corner. Okay, so putting them in a bedroom isn't the greatest idea because it's going to be stressed out and not want to do anything, not even eat, not move, not do anything. So what you want is the proper cage, which is, like I said, 8 feet long, 3 feet wide, about a foot high, and they're going to stay where they feel most comfortable. Like, most of my anacondas get underneath their, like, bedding for it, so they get underneath the paper and hide there because it's dark, small space. Like, any snake will do that. They don't need a huge amount of room, and if you do give them too big of a spot, make sure they have plenty of hides.
Yeah. Like, if you were to convert your spare bedroom into an entire snake enclosure and not just a bedroom, but
give
actual,
it many places to
lots
hide.
of places to hide, and no escape routes with a lock on the door. And what question do you get asked the most?
The stupid buns one. I hate you nuts for that. It's annoying. Stop saying it. Be original. Find a new joke. It's been like 3 years, people. I'm still wearing a snake onesie for no reason whatsoever.
Been up since
It's also very warm, and it's raining outside.
7:30 yesterday morning.
Why?
Work.
Anyways, subscribe. You're actually really bright today. You're usually not this
She's
bright.
on fire.
It's a lot.
They give birthed. Is it recording here? Mm-hmm. Okay. What's their temperament? I've heard my whole life
I'm
that
sitting on a tail. My tail.
Besides In-N-Out, what is your other favorite fast food place to eat?
I like pizza or Taco Bell.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yes.
And apparently ice cream.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, we were there.
Yeah.
There's ice cream.
Yeah.
You struggling with the Anaconda?
No, I'm not actually.
Oh, okay. She will bend your arm backwards and just
No,
hold you there. She will.
She's gonna bust my finger off, but it happens. He has the weirdest eyeballs. They look like they have goat eyeballs. Goat eyeballs?
The struggle is real. Okay.
How do you do this shit?
My thumb.
Seriously? Goodness, look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. I hope you realize I have this on film. That's okay.
I'm still sitting on a tail.
Look at how adorable she is. Look at she's just staring at me.
She likes her chin rub.
That was adorable. It was like a little cobra. All right.
I mean, if I poke you, you're good.
We're just gonna poke snakes all day.
Yeah,
Go my
I mean,
nose. Boop, boop, boop.
I got one.
Ah! Vicious snakes attack!
Tastes like my dog. My dog sleeps on this thing. He loves this onesie. So it's full of dog hair.
Oh, you're gross.
I don't care. I love my dog.
I love my dogs too.
He's a little rat dog.
And hey, we kiss snakes all day.